Today, we're reviewing the smallest smartphone I've ever seen. No, not this one. This one. Hey, and welcome to GI Review. Today, we're looking at a phone that poses an interesting question. How important is the screen size and thinness of our smartphones? One of the most persistent trends in smartphone design has been to make the screen larger and the phone thinner. While this is often seen as an improvement, and it is for tasks like watching videos, playing games, and even working on documents, it comes at the expense of some very real trade-offs, such as smaller batteries, lack of ports, and increased susceptibility to damage. Here at GiGadgets, we seek out products that go against the trends, and today's gadget is no exception. The Atom by Unihertz is the self-proclaimed world's smallest 4G rugged smartphone. Now, looking at the device, it reminds me of phones of a pre-smartphone era. Phones like the Nokia 3310, or my first phone, the Motorola C139. But while it looks like my phone from a decade ago, the internal specs, however, are much closer to my current phone. To start off, the phone supports 4G and runs Android 8.1 Oreo. It's got an octa-core processor, 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of internal memory, and 2 cameras, a 16 megapixel camera on the back and an 8 megapixel camera on the front. It has a fingerprint reader, NFC, a USB-C port, and yes, a headphone jack. One of the Atom's key selling points is its ruggedness. It's built with Gorilla Glass and has a strong exterior that protects against drops and scratches. It's rated IP68, meaning it has a high level of dust protection and is waterproof. Now all that sounds good, especially knowing that this phone costs less than $300. But then you have to factor in the phone's size. It's 18.8 millimeters thick with a 2.45 inch screen that has a resolution of 240 by 432 pixels. That's less resolution than the latest Apple Watch. But specs are only one part of a phone. Let's see just how usable this mini smartphone really is. So I'm about 5 days into using the Atom, and in a lot of ways the Atom is similar to my everyday smartphone. It's fast, it's responsive, and it's got all the same features and apps that I have. But everything is smaller, which in most cases makes things difficult. Take for instance typing. While using a full touchscreen keyboard on this display is not as hard as I initially imagined, my accuracy certainly has gone down compared to a normal smartphone. So instead, I've been relying on speech recognition features whenever offered. Other things that were easy on a larger phone become difficult and frustrating on the Atom, like reading the news or using social networking apps. But you really start to see the limitations of a small phone when watching videos or playing games. With a low-resolution screen, videos are very pixelated, and the device simply is not large enough to enjoy most games. As for the cameras, you can see some of my tests here. The images are very soft and way behind most modern smartphone cameras. However, the area where this phone stands out is in its durability. It feels really solid and protected. I wouldn't worry about dropping this phone, and I wouldn't hesitate to bring it underwater. So while the phone has some decent specs, the form factor makes using this phone a hassle. I can't see myself seriously using this as my everyday phone. But I do still think there is a use for this device, and it's for the outdoor enthusiast. There's been times before when I'm either at a beach or on the mountain where I just don't bring my phone due to the risk of it getting damaged. And if you're spending a lot of time in these environments, it might be worth it to pick up the Atom. It's relatively cheap and super durable, and while yes, it's a bit annoying to use, it can do all the things your normal smartphone can do. Thanks for watching this edition of GI Review. If you liked this video, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest tech gadgets.